Topher Baltimore in race control as the drivers line up and get ready to go racing here at Martinsville. Up front will be Harley Barletta, the points leader, and Mark Nelson. AJ Godsey, Mark Dantuma have the second row. Austin Habel, Eric Stoy on the third row. Canadian Stig and Kevin Reed have the fourth row. Matt Johnston and William Mann Jr. rounding out the top 10. Ian Ogden and Jared Heasley, 11th and 12th. 13th will be Rick Sargent, Greg McDaniel in 14th. Aaron Mason in 15th. Brandon Springer in 16th. Joe Gregory in 17th. Topher Baltimore in race control. It always gets exciting here. Hey, good evening, Rick Godsey. What you got going on this week, Chance? Last time the BRR Sunday Night Series was here, Kellen Mitchner won the race. Jared Heasley got his only second place finish in Sunday competition here. And he did it on strategy. Talked to him before the race. He is not confident that it'll happen again, but he is going to go for it. Couple of quick notes. Heard that AJ Godsey was having some connectivity issues before the race. Appears that they have been taken care of. And Kevin Reed's long-standing internet issues have been taken care of this week as well. So hopefully we see no blinking and all full send all night. Don't forget to check out on the Facebook. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the social medias, YouTube, Twitch, etc. You definitely want to check it out. The big cancer charity event is just 9 days away. Several drivers in this field will be competing. Still time to donate. Still time to join. Although spots are getting taken up very, very, very quickly this week. Alrighty, here we go. Pace car is in. They come out of turn 4. Harley is waiting for it. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away at Martinsville. And that inside line checks up, and look at this. Mark Nelson up top was almost 3 wide. Dantuma shoots forward. Dantuma looking for that first win of the season. He was leading the points earlier on in the season. He was actually leading the points up until last week. Mark Nelson slips back right in front of Canadian Stig. Already seeing some cars with some damage in the first couple of laps. Eric Stoy, his back bumper and rear spoiler a little bumped in. Canadian Stig goes wide. Stoy down to the bottom. Harley Barletta still in the lead, but AJ Godsey now up into second. Mark Dantuma in third. Austin Habel in fourth. Mark Nelson in fifth. And a little bit of racing going on as Austin Habel's making his way forward. Eric Stoy and Canadian Stig still battling it out. That's a battle for 6th place. William Mann Jr. lurking right behind him. He's trying to get the nose in on Canadian Stig. He does it. gets a little bit of a push on corner entry. It is single file for the top 5 or 6 cars, and then we have this battle going on right now. And look, I think there was a bit of netcode there. I think Canadian Stig got netcoded when William Mann Jr. got a little bit loose. William Mann Jr. now way up the track. Ian Ogden slips by, and here comes Kevin Reed. This is the battle from 7th on back right now. Ian currently running in 8th. Looks like Matt Johnston was able to just drive by all the chaos and pull away. Meanwhile, Harley Barletta up front has opened up a 1-second lead over AJ Godsey in 2nd. Mark Dantuma now in 3rd. Austin Hable in 4th. Mark Nelson in 5th. Eric Stoy in 6th, Matt Johnston 7th, Kevin Reed is 8th, Ian Ogden in 9th, William Mann Jr. in 10th. Jared Heasley up to 11th now in the MS car. And my personal favorite, don't forget to tune in July 14th. You'll see myself and several others racing for the MS Society. Huge shout out to Jared for running that paint scheme, and I do believe he's going to paint whatever car I choose to run as soon as I get my triples set back up the way they're supposed to be. You'll see me in car practicing. Aaron Mason making his way forward now, up 3 spots into 12th. Canadian Stig is way back, and Springer gets into his back bumper. Wow. Canadian Stig has really struggled here, but Springer just gave him the bumper. Let's see if we can take another look at that. Curious if that was Springer just gets a huge run into the turn. There's a little bit of netcode at play tonight. First week after a big season patch in iRacing, you generally see that. Harley Barletta's lead now 1.5 seconds over AJ Godsey. Mark Dantuma's caught AJ. Short track racing is really AJ's natural habitat. To see him not in the lead is a little peculiar. Austin Hable now in 4th. Mark Nelson giving him a challenge. Eric Stoy gaining on both of them. Definitely a tough track to pass on. Jared Heasley already up 3 spots and gaining. He said he wasn't that fast coming into tonight. I think he might have been being a little bit humble here. Brandon Springer no longer has his peanut butter deployment system. It has definitely shown this season. A guy who was in contention for the championship all last season has struggled here this season. Mark Nelson in 5th. Now is Eric Stoy right to the back bumper. Eric definitely has a good spot on track. Let's hop in the car out of turn 4 and take a lap around Martinsville with Eric Stoy. And Eric is shifting. I have not seen people shifting here in a long time. He is dropping to 3rd mid-turn, trying to get the advantage up off the turn, down into the turn. It's allowed him to run a little bit higher, point the car back down, and then get on it harder. And look at the run he's got on Mark Nelson now, back out the back straightaway. And you see, it is just a little paper clip of a track. as Eric Stoy starts looking to the bottom. Harley Barletta's lead has started shrinking, and shrinking quickly it is. AJ Gotze now down to 9/10 of a second. He's got Dantuma all over the back bumper, and they're going to come into lap traffic very soon as well. As Harley Barletta is gaining on Canadian Stig, and I'm a little surprised by this struggle out of that 87 car here tonight. Oh! Something is... He was fighting the car big time off of turn 4. He's got some damage from getting together with Brandon Springer, but we've seen other cars with damage not having the same problem. It looks like he's struggling to get the power down. Oh, I forgot about that, Topher. The leader has caught up to Canadian Stig, and let's see if we can get a word with Topher. Maybe he can shed some light. Hey, Topher, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug. How's it going?
Hey, it is good. It is green so far, but I have to ask, Canadian Stig struggling here tonight. I'm seeing him really have a hard time off the turns. Do you have any knowledge of what's going on there?
No, I'm not really sure, but he looks like he keeps either tagging the wall or tagging others, so I'm not really sure what's going on.
That is not very Stiggish.
It's certainly not. It's very uncharacteristic of him. He's way better than that, so I'm not sure. Something's got to be wrong.
I think there might be something wrong. When Springer got into him, it damaged the back end, but it looked like body damage, and based on the way he comes off the turns, I'm wondering if it might have had some sort of damage to the right rear, causing that car to just not want to plant the right rear end.
It could be, because he's definitely having trouble getting power down.
Well, keep us posted, and hopefully this thing stays green. I have never broadcast a green to checkers Martinsville race, so this would be a first.
Well, I wouldn't expect that tonight.
Fingers crossed, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck, buddy.
Thanks, Doug.
And as always, a huge shout out to Toe for being in race control. As Harley Barletta and crew get by, now AJ has caught back to the back bumper of Harley Barletta. Mark Dantuma also right there with him. Lap traffic about to become the big issue here. Austin Habel is 6.5 seconds back from that lead group. And look who is charged up. His internet working is definitely helping. Kevin Reed has now made his way up into 5th. Kevin outside the top 10 in points. But definitely came to play tonight. AJ Gotze catching up to Harley, but it's going to get tricky. And they have the newcomer, Joe Gregory, to think about to get around here in the lap traffic. Joe goes up high, lets all the leaders get by. It actually looks like Joe may have came down right in front of Mark Dantuma. Dantuma gets by underneath. You could tell Joe was making the effort, just ran out a corner to stay high in, and now AJ is right to Harley's back bumper. Austin Habel back and forth. They are still pulling away from him. Kevin Reed in 5th is now caught up to Habel's back bumper. And now Kevin looks down to the bottom. He's got a run on the inside. Kevin Reed to 4th place with an easy pass. He brought Mark Nelson with him. There's Eric Stoy and Matt Johnston. This is Kevin Reed now in fourth. This is fourth through about eighth or ninth place here. A lot of fast cars in this group. Harley Barletta still able to hold AJ Godsey off, but as we mentioned, AJ is the best, one of the best at the short track races. Mark Dantuma in third, Kevin in fourth, Austin in fifth. Kevin Reed, after that pass, is now 8 seconds back from the top three, and he is gaining on it. Rick Surgeon has crashed, and the first caution of the night is out. And it looked like Rick might have gotten that inside. Let's get a different angle on Rick here. I think he might have gotten just enough of the curbing to the inside. No. Looks like just a little too much throttle off the turn. He tried to get to pit road before drawing the caution. Wasn't able to. Harley Barletta staying out. Everybody behind him has hit pit road. Looking to see if we're going to see Harley Barletta on pit road this time. As we mentioned in pre-race, cautions may make it to where... No, Harley does not pit. Harley, it's Doug in the booth. You got me?
Hey, what's up, Doug?
Hey, yeah, you stayed out. Everybody else went.
I did. I wasn't paying attention. I should have pit that second lap there, too, but, again, wasn't paying attention. I was trying to open a beer.
Well, at least you have your priorities straight.
Yes, exactly. I need that to continue, so...
I got you.
Regardless of how we end up here, it'll be all right. We still got a whole bunch of racing left to do.
Well, it is going to be interesting. Obviously, with even just one caution fuel, you may not even need to stop for fuel tonight.
I'm more concerned about the tires. I'm not worried about fuel at all. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be having any fuel issues.
Well, with the tire strategy, I mean, tires not a huge deal here at Martinsville. Obviously, it being a flat track, the right sides do wear, but you've got that track position and the inside line on the restart. Can you hold a guy like AJ Godsey off?
Not with those fresh tires. We're going to fall back drastically here, but we'll try and hold off who we can.
Well, good luck, and at least you got a beer.
I got 2 more on standby.
That's a plus. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, man.
So, Harley Barletta, obviously priority straight. He got a beer, but forgot to go to pit road. So, he is on old tires, and everybody else on the track has been to pit road, does have fresh tires. Including AJ Godsey, a former champion in BRR. Actually, let's just be real. AJ Godsey put BRR together back in 2020. None of us would be here in this group without him. So, and he is, as mentioned, one of the best at short track racing. Harley might be in trouble here. Harley came in with the points lead, but AJ has 4 wins on the season. Pace car is in. Can Harley hold him off? Harley fires, they are down, green is in the air. Mark Dantuma might have just saved Harley Barletta. He gets the nose in on AJ. Caution is out back behind. And a big one. And it looks like Jared Heasley involved. They go off into turn 1. Oh, he moved up the track just a little bit. Had to get a little too hard onto the brakes. Brandon Springer caught. William Mann Jr. caught. Looks like Greg McDaniel might have avoided this one. William Mann. Wow, they really just piled up into that corner. Ian Ogden is caught. William Mann Jr., Aaron Mason. Aaron just shoots up to the high side. He saw it coming. Had nowhere to go. You saw Springer even trying to move high. Greg McDaniel also caught in this. Kevin Reed was really the one that was able to drive through. Greg McDaniel almost makes it through. And Harley Barletta maintains the lead, does not go to pit road. Jared Heasley will go to pit road. He is going to need some repairs here, but trying to maintain the lead lap. Meanwhile, we're going to try and get a word with the driver of the 64 car. Hey, Kevin, it's Doug. You got me?
What's up, Doug?
Hey, I have to say, I know you got your internet issues fixed. Did they give you a few extra horsepower when they fixed your internet?
Nah, I think they took a couple away.
Well, whatever it was, it seems to be working. You were really storming through the field earlier.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back up front. Messed up my qualifying lap. Yeah, I'm usually pretty good here if I can keep my nose clean, you know, so just trying to get a good finish for once.
You had a really, really close call with that incident. Did you happen to see any of it happening? Was that how you were able to get up high, or were you just luck?
It was just lucky that I saw Jared come up a little bit, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave a whole bunch of room because there's a freight train coming behind me.
It worked out perfectly.
That's called lady luck, my friend. Lady luck.
It definitely is. Well, hopefully she stays with you the rest of the night, man. You've had a great run so far.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, Kevin Reed in the 64. Obviously, we've seen him drop out of several races here recently just due to internet issues. Trying to get back in contention here tonight. AJ Godsey will get... Where did AJ go? AJ Godsey will get another shot at the lead here as they stack back up for the restart, and it looks something has gone wonky here. It is now scoring AJ in the lead, and they do not go green. Nope. No, they hold off the green flag. At the moment of caution, Harley Barletta had the lead, but it sent AJ Godsey forward, so it looks like race control about to have their hands full, and it does, timing and scoring does have a tendency to get a little weird with these short tracks once lap traffic begins to become an issue. Everybody stopped back behind. It looks like the pace car may be back in. Looks like AJ is going to control the restart. There will be no restart. Another delay as they try and get everybody back where they're supposed to be. All right, the pace car is back in. We'll watch closely and see. Will they extend again, or will they go green? It looks like another extension, trying to get everybody lined up. But it is still Harley Barletta trying to hold off AJ Godsey up front. Looks like some waiver rounds are being completed. They will stay under yellow one more time. And it looks like now that waiver rounds are being completed, I do believe we will see a restart this time. Almost halfway into this race. Pace car is back in. It looks like the drivers are trying to get squared away and stacked up here. AJ moves up high. They stack back up. Green flag is back in the air. AJ fires. Harley does not get going. And a big stack up into turn one as Harley struggles to get that car going on old tires, and AJ Godsey to the lead. Austin Habel now in second. Harley drifts back into third. Mark Dantuma in fourth. Remember, Harley the only driver that has not been to pit road yet. Jared Heasley never did come to pit road for repairs. He is still missing his front clip. Not an aero-dependent track. Should not have too much of an impact unless he has engine damage. And it looks like what happened with the restart, iRacing put 6 cars a lap down that should not have been, causing the scoring glitch. Thankfully, we have a Topher in race control that can fix it. AJ Godsey out front. Austin Habel now in second. Harley in third. Mark Dantuma in fourth. Mark Nelson now up into the top 5. Eric Stoy in sixth. Kevin Reed now in seventh. Matt Johnston in 8th, Joe Gregory in 9th, Ian Ogden currently running 10th, Brandon Springer in 11th, William Mann Jr. in 12th, Aaron Mason in 13th, but Aaron goes up the track, and here comes Heasley. And it looks like Greg McDaniel is officially out of the race, as is Rick Surgeon. Trying to remember the last time I saw Greg McDaniel not finish a race. Hey, good evening. Good evening, Russell. How's it going, buddy? I hope things are going better for you, bud. I know it's been a rough week. And just past the halfway point, AJ Godsey still in the lead. Austin Habel in second. Mark Dantuma and Mark Nelson. This is a story that keeps repeating all season long. Mark versus Mark. Mark Dantuma comes in tonight second in points. Mark Nelson comes in 6th in points. Hey, that is great to hear, Russell. Eric Stoy now up to 5th has Kevin Caution. Brandon Springer involved. Oh, just a little too low. I think he got some curbing on that one. Let's see if we can get a different angle. Oh, he definitely got the curb that time. Fortunately, everybody behind him able to avoid him. And I do believe that will give the wave around to Canadian Stig, putting him back on the lead lap. Harley Barletta is on pit road, as is Jared Heasley coming in for repairs. William Mann Jr., Aaron Mason, and Brandon Springer all on pit road. AJ Gotzi has the lead. Let's see if we can get a word with him. Hey, AJ, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, Doug.
Hey, back up front leading on a short track. This seems like something I've said a few times before.
Yeah, I like these short tracks, especially, the flatter ones, a little tougher to drive, a little loose off the corner. I think I've got about 3 scrapes already on the wall, but car's fast.
It looked like it was getting interesting after that first caution with Harley not going to pit road. It looked like you were about to lose a lot of track position. You got stuck up on the high side, but once you got out front, you just kind of started inching away.
Yeah, it was going to be shaping up to be a good little battle with me and Harley there before the first caution come out, and he didn't come in, so that threw him off cycle, and I just figured get around him and we should have some clean air. I know Mark's fast. He was all over me on that run too, so I'm definitely going to keep my eye on Mark Dantuma.
Well, it is definitely going to be an interesting one, but I know you know how to get it done here. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, Doug. Happy birthday, Hinkle.
And definitely, as AJ said, happy birthday, Jeff Hinkle, from everybody at BRR. Although we're wondering why you're not in the race, so we could have everybody sing happy birthday to you. AJ Gotzi has the lead with Austin Habel. They'll have the front row. Mark Dantuma and Mark Nelson will have the second row. Eric Stoy, Kevin Reed will have the third row. Matt Johnston, and look at this, newcomer Joe Gregory starting to make his way up. Ian Ogden and Harley Barletta now back in 10th. Jared Heasley, a fully repaired car, back in 11th. Aaron Mason in 12th. William Mann Jr. 13th, Brandon Springer 14th, and look at this, Canadian Stig back to the lead lap. He is in 15th. They stack back up for the restart. Pace car drops in. AJ will control the restart, and here we go. AJ fires, green is in the air. And Mark Dantuma already looking underneath. He's got the nose in on Austin. Oh! Austin tried to pinch Dantuma down. Dantuma just drives it off. Austin Abel now to third. Here comes Mark Nelson. Look who's making a power move. Kevin Reed on the high side. Kevin gets the nose ahead. It's a lot harder to make a move up top. Can he pull it off? Oh, he is going to lose a position here to Matt Johnston. And now have to work his way back forward. Meanwhile, AJ Gotzi now has to look at that green Chevy. Oh, caution! Ian Ogden involved. Right in front of Harley Barletta. It looks like Ian just gets a little too... Look like Harley got a run in. Ian checked up. They get together. Joe Gregory gets caught. Looks like Canadian Stig might have caught a piece of this one. William Mann Jr. manages to get around it. And yep, Canadian Stig just lost the front grille. just a smidge. Harley gave him just a little love tap. Mark Dantuma now up to second. I wonder if Austin Habel, who will be starting on the inside row this time, learned anything from that restart and will use that same trick on Mark Dantuma this time. Harley just gave him a little kiss. Harley just gets so deep into the turn. Canadian Stig has been to pit road for repairs. Joe Gregory also on pit road this time. Jared Heasley starting to make his way forward again. He is up to 9th. Harley now up to 8th. Kevin Reed in 7th. Kevin was starting to make some moves. Then Law got a little too deep into the corner. Lost a little bit of ground, but expect him to come forward again. Fuel will not be an issue here tonight. All the drivers pitted on lap 38 or later, they can all go the distance on fuel. The question will be on the tires, but the guys at the back who pitted under this caution might be the only ones on fresh tires. We've seen guys go further than this on old tires. We could see somebody like AJ Godsey win it, having stopped on lap 38. Pace car is in. Here they come out of turn 4. AJ controls the restart. He fires. Green is in the air. And look at this. Austin Habel does shoot to the bottom into turn 1, but Dantuma really sends it in deep, but loses the momentum in the middle of the turn. And it looks like Mark Nelson and Matt Johnston both get the wall. Mark Nelson way up high. He scrapes the wall again out of 4. Matt Johnston able to get down to the bottom, and Kevin Reed took it. Oh, Kevin Reed is around. Caution is out. Looked like Kevin was taking advantage of others' misfortune there. Was having a great run, and then suddenly not so much. Off into turn number 1. Matt Johnston just drove the nose down in. Actually ended up correcting Kevin just a little bit, but Kevin loses a bunch of track position. You know who we haven't seen out here in BRR competition in quite some time? Where in the world is Larry Ashby? Harley Barletta looked like he might have had a problem a moment ago. They were all stopping on the front straightaway trying to get scoring line. Oh! What in the world? Oh, they were trying to let lap cars around. It's getting interesting under caution here at Martinsville. Hey, good evening, Richie. How's it going, buddy? So a bit of chaos on track, a bit of chaos under caution. I'm willing to bet Race Control just opened another bottle. Yep, I think I heard one opening. AJ Godsey still in the lead. Mark Dantuma in second. Austin Habel in third. Eric Stoy in fourth. Matt Johnston now up into fifth. Mark Nelson, Harley Barletta, William Mann Jr., Brandon Springer, and Canadian Stig rounding out the top 10. Kevin Reed, after that incident, remember Kevin was marching up through the field. He is now back into 14th. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Mike, why aren't you on track? All right, lights go out on the pace car. They stack back up for the restart. Looks like Dantuma trying to get some heat in the tires, get a good restart here. We saw it make a move on the high side under the last restart. Can he do it again to hold on to second? Because we know AJ is about to check out. Out of turn 4, here we go. AJ fires, green is in the air. Mark able to take advantage. He is going to hold on to second. Now Austin Habel about to have his hands full. Eric Stoy up to the high side. Mark Nelson in the wall again off turn 2. Eric Stoy managing to get a good run on the high side. He pulls ahead. Can he clear before they get into 1? He does. Eric Stoy now up into 3rd. Harley Barletta meanwhile charging his way back toward the front. Currently in 6th. Now looking under for 5th. Brandon's, oh, we've got a car around. Caution is out. Looks like Aaron Mason. Oh, looks like Kevin just got a great run up off the corner. Ran out of room. Mike, obviously racing is far more important than remodeling. It is still going to be AJ Godsey and Mark Dantuma on the front row, but now Eric Stoy will be on the second row with Austin Habel. Matt Johnston, Harley Barletta of the 3rd, William Mann Jr., Kevin Reed now back up on the 4th row, Ian Ogden, and that Canadian Stick guy rounding out the top 10. The view from the stands here at Martinsville tonight. Barney the flag man standing there is telling them 1 to green. Nope, no, not 1 to green yet. Barney, work on your flag stuff, dude. No, Mike, that's your job. Yeah, I know better, buddy. Just under 40 laps to go here in Martinsville. The first 50 laps, no caution, and then it has gotten a little bit crazy. Jared Heasley was on pit road this time. Matt Johnston, Brandon Springer, all on pit road under this caution. And no surprise, AJ Godsey continues to lead. They stack back up for the restart. It'll be right at 30 laps to go when the green flag drops. Can Mark Dantuma get his first win of the season here tonight? Or will AJ Godsey get win number 5? Out of turn 4, AJ controls it. He fires, green is in the air. We've got some spinning going on behind. No caution yet. Great save. Oh, and Austin Hable goes around again. Caution is back out. Let's give credit here to Austin Hable. What a save. Off the nose of, it looks like Matt Johnston. Gets it straightened back out. Keeps his foot in it. Just gets a little too much throttle and goes around off of turn 2. That was a great save off of Matt's front bumper. Mark Dantuma currently running in second place, looking to see if I can get a word with the driver of the 13 car. Hey Mark, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, buddy. What's up?
Hey, looks like you're having a whole lot of fun up there tonight.
It's a little bit fun, a little bit interesting, too.
That it has definitely been. I noticed on a couple of the restarts you were able to power by some guys up on the high side to hold position. Can you power by AJ on the high side to get the lead?
I don't think so. I roll the centers a little bit better than he does, but he gets off better than I do, so it's going to be a tough task.
Well, how do you feel about your chances? And if it comes down to the last lap, do you rattle his cage?
I might rattle his cage, but I'm not going to wreck him.
Well, that is that's all you got to do. Just rattle his cage a little bit, get that first win of the season.
I'll definitely give it a shot.
All right, good luck, buddy.
Thanks, Doug.
Mark Dantuma, you can hear all the drivers really happy to be here tonight. All of them having a lot of fun out there. Mark still looking for that first win of the season. He led the points for most of the season thus far until last week. He had led the points without a win. Harley Barletta, with his second win of the season, took the points lead last week. AJ Godsey currently sits fourth in points with 4 wins. Looks like Austin Hable is going to be waved back around. He'll be at the tail end of the lead lap here. There he goes. So now AJ and Mark Dantuma will line up front. Matt Johnston, Eric Stoy on the second row. Looks like AJ is going to fire really early on this one. Green is in the air. And Eric Stoy managed to slide up underneath Mark Dantuma into second. Dantuma trying to power back on the high side. Not give up third place to Matt Johnston. He does it. Dantuma holds on to third. Matt Johnson now back to fourth, and look who's in the top 5 now, William Mann Jr., who was struggling here earlier in the night, did not have high hopes for tonight, has now made his way into the top 5. And the points leader not far behind in 8th place, but Harley Barletta has to get by Kevin Reed here. Kevin has been consistently one of the fastest all night. Yeah, I've heard that from others as well, Topher. The current iRacing update just causing a few glitches. AJ Godsey in the lead, and now Mark Dantuma back under Eric Stoy for second. Oh, Eric gets the wall out of 4. Mark Dantuma into second, now has to run down a 1-second gap to AJ Godsey. Matt Johnston back in for 20 laps to go. Ian Ogden now up to 5th, and look, Kevin Reed in 6th. AJ Godsey maintaining a 1-second lead over Mark Dantuma. Harley Barletta now back up into 6th. He's coming by Kevin Reed for 5th. Kevin stuck up on the high side. Ian Ogden now slips by. Jared Heasley slips by. Oh, Jared gets a little bit of the apron. Managing to hold on to it, though. And here comes Aaron Mason as well. Oh, William Mann Jr. is in the outside wall. It gets a little tight there as Mark Nelson comes underneath. Kevin Reed suddenly drifting back into 7th. Ian Ogden in 6th. Caution is out. Looks like Canadian Stig involved. Oh, Stiggy had to get on the brakes to not hit Mark Nelson. Pushed up the track. He and William Mann Jr. just get together. Both drivers take heavy hits to the front of the car, but both drive away. Mark Dantuma gets another shot here at AJ Godsey. Can he make something happen? Eric Stoy back there in 3rd, a teammate to AJ. Definitely gives AJ a little bit of an advantage. Eric will be trying to drive up underneath Mark Dantuma for 2nd place. Harley Barletta, who led earlier and was the pole sitter, currently in 5th, trying to make his way back up toward the front. Ian Ogden up 5 spots into 6th. Kevin Reed in 7th. Jared Heasley up 4 spots into 8th. And despite the lack of peanut butter on his tires, Brandon Springer up 7 spots into 9th. Aaron Mason up 5 spots, currently in 10th. Still enough laps to go. Anybody on the lead lap could get lucky here. And it looks like every driver in the field is going to be on the lead lap as long as Canadian Stig gets off pit road. Yep, he will. So we're going to have 15 cars on the lead lap. And right at 10 laps to go when the green drops. Short track racing under the lights. Very few laps left. Yeah, this is going to get exciting. Mark D'Antuma looking for win number 1 on the season. Has to get past the short track ace, AJ Gotzi, to get it done. Out of turn 2, pace car will drop off in turn 3. Pace car is in. AJ Gotzi controls the restart. He fires. Green is back in the air. 10 to go at the line. D'Antuma in second. And it's still side-by-side battle from there on back. Caution is already back out. See if we can find out what happened here to bring the caution. Oh! Austin Habel goes around. Austin sends it into turn 1 just a little too hard on the brakes and likely too much rear brake dialed into the car. Matt Johnston in 4th, Harley Barletta in 5th, Kevin Reed in 6th, Ian Ogden in 7th, Brandon Springer in 8th, Heasley in 9th, and Aaron Mason in 10th. The top 4 have not been to pit road since lap 38. The highest running driver with fresh tires, Harley Barletta in 5th. Behind him, Kevin Reed has slightly fresher tires. Harley stopped on lap 64. Kevin on lap 78. Though, as we're seeing up front, it has not mattered. The fresh tires have not made a huge difference. The key tonight has been track position. Austin Habel did go to pit road. He is back out on track and will remain on the lead lap. Looks like we'll have less than 5 to go at the green flag. Should have about 4 to go when the green flag drops. It's going to be a dogfight to the finish. Hey, good evening, Lance. How's it going, buddy? Lights are out on the pace car. 1 to green. AJ Gotzi and Mark D'Antuma have the front row. Matt Johnston, Eric Stoy on the second. Harley Barletta, Kevin Reed on the third. Ian Ogden, Brandon Springer on the fourth. Aaron Mason and Jared Heasley rounding out the top 10. Pace car is in. Hey, good evening, Jason. Out of turn 4, AJ fires. Green is in the air. AJ gets a big jump into turn 1. Now Eric Stoy to the bottom under. Mark Dantuma, and here comes Harley Barletta. Looked like Matt Johnston grabbed the wall out of turn 2. Mark Dantuma slides back up into second. Caution is out. We'll go green and white checkered here. There's Ian Ogden coming down the back. Oh, look, did Springer get up underneath? Brandon Springer tried to drive in, and Ian just blocked the run. They meet in the middle. That is definitely the case. Brandon was definitely full send into that turn. Mark Dantuma was fighting his way back, has been one of the few drivers able to power around on the high side, but has not been able to get an advantage on AJ here tonight. Harley Barletta picked up a position under that short green flag run. Kevin Reed now back up into 6th. Matt Johnston in 5th. Matt Johnston has definitely been fighting his way forward all night. He started back in 9th, had been as far back as about 14th, and still kept fighting his way forward. And it is still AJ Godsey who has led the most laps here tonight. Once he got to the lead, nobody has been able to get around him. However, we did hear Mark Dantuma say, comes down to the last lap, he will rattle his cage. He won't wreck him, but he'll rattle his cage. Lights are out for the final restart. Pace car will drop in out of turn 3 and we'll go racing. Green, white, checkered to the finish. Pace car is in. Here they go. AJ fires, catches Mark. Mark into 2nd. He manages to hold Eric off into turn 1. Harley Barletta trying to come by on the high side. AJ pulling a little bit of a gap on Mark Dantuma. Mark sends it in. Eric sends it in. Harley gets over to the bottom down to 4th. White flag is in the air for AJ Godsey. Can Dantuma get to him here tonight? Out of turn 2, Harley Barletta and Eric Stoy go at it. Mark Dantuma cannot. Oh, there's a big wreck behind. And AJ Godsey pulls off the win. Mark Dantuma comes home 2nd, and Kevin Reed sneaks through the chaos for 3rd. Let's see what happened on that last lap. Harley and Eric going at it right in front of him. Harley gets into the curb, catches Matt Johnston, Kevin Reed managing to drive right by it for third. Let's see if we can talk to our top three, starting with Kevin. Hey, Kevin, it's Doug. You got me?
How's it going, Doug?
Hey, good, man. What a comeback tonight. You were up and down all night, but at the end of the night, you come home with a quick and easy third.
I got a third place out. I squeaked into a third out of fifth, and hey, this is the second race of the entire season that I didn't have discontinuity.
It was definitely great to see you able to finish the race and get that top three finish. It's got to make you feel good about the remainder of the season.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully get you back on track here. And I got a little ways to climb, but we'll see.
Well, you've done it before. I have no doubt you can do it again, buddy. Congratulations. A great run tonight.
Thanks, Doug.
And Mark Dantuma comes home in second. And Mark, I have to ask, when are you going to get that first win of the season?
I don't know. This monkey on my back is starting to really annoy me.
I can imagine so, but on the upshot, Harley Barletta took the points lead from you after his win last week. I do believe with his finish tonight and him falling back on the last lap, you'll actually reclaim it.
Yeah, it's kind of a hollow victory, though, if I can't get that W.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I think it's going to... You've had so many podium finishes this season, I imagine it's going to happen before very long.
Yeah, if I can just keep running consistent top fives, it'll happen. It's just a matter of when.
And if you have to, you can always put the bumper to somebody.
I thought about it real hard, but I just can't do that to AJ.
Well, man, you definitely gave it a valiant effort. You're one of the few guys that could make a move on the high side and make it stick. A great, great run tonight. Congrats, buddy.
Thanks, Doug.
And let's see if we can talk to our winner. AJ, win number 5 of the season. You got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, winning never gets old, Doug.
I wouldn't know. Man, it was a great race, and it looked like a couple of times you might be in a little bit of trouble. Mark was able to make something happen on the high side, and Eric really closed up on you a few times.
Yeah, I definitely think Mark could have been a problem if it would have stayed. If we would have got a longer green flag run there, I think it would have definitely been a good race between the two of us, because it seemed like he'd get a better entry and roll the center better, but I could get him off the corner. So it definitely would have been fun, but glad he's a good, clean racer, and we kept it clean up front there most of the race.
Well, with Greg McDaniel having a rough race tonight, you'll pull back into third in points and close the gap back down on Mark and Harley here tonight. Will this be another championship season for you?
It's shaping up to be, but you never know. One bad race in the chase, and you could be in trouble. That's what happened, I think, last season. I got off to a bad start in the first race and had to claw back, so you never know.
Well, man, you keep racing like you did tonight. You'll get there again. Congratulations, AJ.
Thanks. Give a shout out to Jeff Hinkle. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, buddy.
Yep. Big happy birthday to Jeff Hinkle. Congratulations, AJ.
Thanks, Dougie.
AJ Godsey gets win number 5 on the season. He is dominating so far. Could be another championship for him. Jason, that is an awesome comment. I will definitely make sure Harley reads that. Harley got spun around like a kid on a power wheel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to come back tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. The Jones BS Racing League is back with their Legend Series and their Tour Mod Series, and a lot more going on this week as XCal returns to South Boston Tuesday night. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you had as much fun as we did, and have a great night.